People's Democratic Party announced late on Tuesday that its planned National Executive Committee meeting, originally scheduled for Thursday, has been postponed to 28 November 2024. The move is to allow the party to focus on strategizing and mobilizing for the upcoming Ondo State governorship election, which is set to take place on 16 November 2024. This was disclosed in a communique issued by the party's Governors Forum under the leadership of Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed, following a consultative meeting with various party organs. The meeting also included the PDP National Working Committee, the National Assembly leadership of the party caucus, and the Forum of former PDP governors. The PDP Governors Forum held an extended meeting at the Bauchi State Governor's Lodge, Tatari Ali House, Asokoro, on Tuesday, 22nd October 2024. The communique partly read, rising from the consultative meeting of the various organs of the People's Democratic Party, the party has resolved that the National Executive Committee meeting, originally slated for October 24, 2024, has been rescheduled to November 28, 2024. The postponement is to ensure that the party approaches the forthcoming Ondo gubernatorial elections on 16 November 2024 with the unity and strength required to unseat the struggling All Progressive Congress government in the state. Reiterating the need for unity in the face of efforts by detractors to divide the party, the meeting called on all members to shun divisive utterances that could undermine ongoing efforts to strengthen the party and effectively position it as the country's main opposition in preparation for the 2027 elections. Ugochukwu, you were nodding your head vigorously while I was reading. So if I may ask, what holds your interest the most in this story?
I can beat my chest. I count myself as one of the political prophets.
Because you said it on my show, yes, that it was going to be postponed.
On Sunday, I said it, and with all sense of humility and with all sense of decency and with all sense of finality. I said it that it will not hold.
Now, what are your reasons? What political, first of all, let me ask you. Yes. Now, I want to understand the political undertone to this. I want to understand the maneuvers, because we have seen moves being made. Omar Damagum paying a visit to the PDP Governors Forum, Bala Mohammed with the Northwest bigwigs and governors at Bauchi State. They went to visit him, and Bala Mohammed came out to say there is no faction, we are all united. And then after that, there was this Nicodemus maneuver to get the court to give the Bala Mohammed faction the power to convene a NEC meeting, and that did not work. I want to understand the moves behind the scene and what made you come to that conclusion, because you were spot on this one, Ugochukwu.
I've always been spot on. I told you that APC will carry the day in Edo State. Even when I was not in Nigeria, I was put on a live television where I told them that Obaseki was going to win when he cross-parted from APC to PDP. Even when people were saying, don't I see how his commissioners and everybody was leaving him in droves, I said Obaseki will come back. So what happened here is that the PDP Bala Mohammed camp could not get the court to override the powers of the NEC. And as a political watcher and somebody who has been following the trends in politics, the Nyesom Wike angle, PDP I watched a program, an interview granted by the Deputy Publicity Secretary of PDP last night, where he, almost all the things I've said, I told you that the PDP, those who are shouting, use the sledgehammer on Wike, are bereft of ideas and what the main issues are. What killed the whole thing is that they knew. PDP remembered what happened, how they lost 5 governors to the new PDP before the 2015 general elections. they have now realized that they did not toe the line of history, which some people told them. They now jettisoned another 5G governors in 2023. What happened? You can't have a divided house and go to war and win. Even the Bible says it, the good books. So what happens here is that they have seen clearly the handwriting on the wall. And I am happy that most of them went to that caucus meeting, from what I heard yesterday, and speak what I've been saying here. I'm not a member. He said that they pointed out that, are you people calling on Nyesom Wike? But that infraction started from the hanky-panky played by Atiku and the Yochi Ayo.
During the 2023 elections.
That is, and now they have realized it. That is the only thing I have to say. The Nyesom Wike have been vindicated. Nyesom Wike and his brother, former governors, have been vindicated, and that is why you see at that particular meeting, only 5 governors. They have 13 governors. At the time, the Bala Mohammed camp was breeding heavily with 9 governors. When Sheima Kinda and the Fintri and the other people went
and then
to align with
Obaseki lost, and those states
I told you that immediately Obaseki lost. I told you it was on this show that
most
I
of
said
the
that,
governors became silent.
They're silent. So even our own Fubara was there yesterday. There were only 5 people who attended that meeting at Asokoro Villa of the liaison office, liaison house of Bauchi State, where the meeting was held. Only 5 governors attended. At the end of the day, they saw clearly that they couldn't even garner a vote to carry out what they want to do. So I am very happy, and I am so grateful that many people has seen the handwritings on the, and they have seen the call of reason, for which Nyesom Wike has stood his ground and said that the right thing was, they recall that those infractions should have been corrected. What was it that Atiku would have not told Anayu to go? Because he reminded us, I mean, the national publicity, the deputy national publicity chairman of PDP said that they recall that 2 weeks before the election, Nyesom Wike was saying, though I was not choosing as the vice, I have lost the primary, but one thing stands out, that once Yochi Ayo steps out, that he will go to the war front with the PDP. And the man clearly stated that, like Nyesom Wike hate him, the vibes he would have brought to that particular campaign, well, PDP lost it. And there is no way PDP would have made an inroad in that particular election. So I am vindicated, and the Nyesom Wike's camp is vindicated, and the PDP, they are just using Ondo State election to shy away from the reality. But the reality is what I've told you.
But when you say they are using the Ondo State election to shy away from reality, one might say that that is actually a very wise decision. Because now, if that NEC meeting should hold, the outcome of that NEC meeting,
they
might divide, yes. PDP might be further balkanized at this point, because there are vested interests.
Of course.
Do not forget, Atiku's interest is there. Nyesom Wike, of course, has an interest. Sheyi Makinde has an interest. Bala Mohammed has an interest. Most of these people have an interest, probably because they want to vie for the presidential election in 2027, or they have an interest to be the national chairman of the PDP, or they have an interest to have their own, their appointed or their anointed, excuse me, in this instance, to take probably an elective position
in the NEC.
In the NEC. Now, when you look at it, some persons have an interest because of their 2027 ambition at the state level, the 2027 Guba ambition. And you know, the national can also influence the outcome of elections in the state.
Yeah, of course.
So a lot of interests are making people be on this camp or on the other camp. So probably if NEC meeting had happened as it was scheduled, you know, that NEC meeting probably would have further balkanized the PDP. And if PDP is balkanized at this point, tell me how it will pan out with regards to the Edo State election.
There was no...
Considering that Ondo State is a ruling state, number one.
By APC.
By APC, a ruling state in APC, and also has the federal might. So what is the card that PDP can play at this point in Ondo State. Have you seen, one might say, okay, the decision of the NEC in this instance is wise, because, I mean, the postponement is not sine die.
Can I come in?
Yes.
You know, let's say that what you saw Ondo State is just damage control. It's just for the press. I'm just telling you that.
Are you saying that the November 28th, the November 28th scheduled NEC meeting will be postponed again?
Of course. It will get to
I'll remind you of this.
Let me tell you.
It's all right,
it is only for the press, just for those who are not following, you know, bomber to bomber, according to the language of Nigerians, what is happening in the PDP. PDP cannot afford to sleep deep down again, because remember that even the person who is leading the war front in Ondo State is Shea Makinde. And if you see that the camp of Nyesom Wike has started swelling, and recall that those who are making this noise, the Bala Mohammed and the Ugochi Nyerikenga them, what was their scorecard in Edo State? These are people who cannot, I always say, they can't win a local government election. They can't win a local government election. The governor of Rivers State, Fubara, is also in the camp of Bala Mohammed. How did they fare in even the local government election in Rivers State? The Ugo Chinyere, who came to Rivers State and is now making noise and calling out Nyesom Wike should be suspended. Nyesom Wike should be, you know, when I even stopped taking him for a serious is this. After the other meeting, the first NEC meeting that held, where he probably attended the first NEC as one of the party caucus, being privileged as a member of the House of Representatives, he freezed. He couldn't have even seen a Nyesom Wike very well from where he was sitting. I always say it. So when they now went to war without Nyesom Wike in Edo State, what was the outcome? So they have seen the handwriting clearly. So those people now, I'm not saying that they are going to make any headway in Ondo State.
Okay.
Because the coming together now is already belated. For them to unite before they will regroup from what they achieved in Edo State. So we see how it goes from now on.
Fingers crossed.